matching ideas with resources networking podcast sponsored by GLM. GLM works with business owners on their basic back office, professional business, accounting, strategy, consulting, as much or as little as they want, from basic QuickBooks entry to providing and analyzing financial statements regularly. GLM provides ideas for expense savings and business growth. I'm Tom Ghosh, business strategist with GLM. Well, welcome to 10 Minutes with Tom. Today, through Davis and the GOA, I've got Elliot from ServPro. They're based in Elk Grove, and they help clean up the mess that we started almost a little over a year ago. But Elliot, before we get into the just kind of the presentation, tell me a little bit more about what ServPro has to offer.
Sure. Thanks, Tom. We appreciate the opportunity to be with you today. So ServPro is, in broad terms, a mitigation and restoration company. So when people have floods or fires or mold problems, we come in and help clean everything up and put everything back together.
Like it never happened.
Like it never even happened. That's right.
Nice. I've heard that one before. I've heard that one before.
Marketing dollars are working.
Yeah. That's great. So what's one of the things that you're doing differently on this side of what's been going on over the last, I guess it's a year now?
Sure. So biohazard has always been part of our product portfolio. Historically, biohazard has really meant more things along the lines of crime scene cleanup, trauma cleanup, things like that. We've also done influenza outbreaks in schools and things of that nature. And now really what we're doing is a lot of that, but just magnified 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Our disinfection services have really been in very high demand. And so what we've really been doing is two things. One is not only providing those services to help people clean up when they have a problem, but also working with people to be prepared and to be preemptive about having these issues and dealing with potential COVID exposure.
That sounds good. Well, it looks like you've got something prepared. Feel free to take me through it.
Sure. So, COVID mitigation really, I think, is probably a large part of the focus today. Obviously, it's probably the number one topic that we hear about on the news every day. And we've started a certified clean program where, we will come in and help keep your facility clean. And in the event of an outbreak, we will deal with getting that cleaned up and getting your business back up and running, or getting your home sanitized and healthy to live there. Here you can see just kind of a photograph of one of our guys at work in our bunny suits and disinfecting. In this case, it was a gymnasium. So a couple things that I think are interesting that we've been trying to help people with, again, is not just dealing with the outbreak, but also helping people be prepared. This slide is based on a survey that we did from a corporate perspective of, what are people wanting to what comfort level are people looking for in order to go into a business? And some of the things that are really, driving a comfort level for people to re-enter businesses are, hand dispensers. That visibly is something that cues people in to make it feel like the place is clean and people are being careful.
Right.
Employees wearing masks, seeing the employees actually visibly cleaning stuff, customers wearing masks. So really a lot of the stuff that we've seen kind of adopted over the last several months are some of the key things that people are looking for when they look to enter a business. One of the other things that we do, that we provide as part of our cleaning services, we will actually brand the location with stickers and signage to indicate that we've been there and that we've been cleaning the place, and that there's a certain level of professionalism that's been applied to cleaning the facility.
That's great. Good idea.
Additionally, we look at what it is that people are, how confident people are in kind of getting back into work and going into retail environments, going into restaurants. And this is really kind of from the from the employee perspective, because what we deal with a lot of times is not just the customer perspective, but also the employee perspective. A lot of times we get phone calls where an employee has been exposed, and the rest of the workforce is really not wanting to come in because there's been that exposure. So what we see here is that unfortunately at this point only about 34% of employees are very confident that their employees are doing kind of the right things to get the place cleaned up. So again, this is where we sit down and work with our customers to make sure that they're doing what they can to make not only the customers comfortable but also the employees. Again, just kind of go back a little bit more high level. So we've been focused on COVID cleaning. Again, we also, focus on water damage restoration, fire damage, mold, emergency storm damage, so trees falling on homes. We do, commercial and residential, and as we talked about, biohazard, crime scene cleanup, and then the COVID stuff.
Sure.
And we're here 24/7, 365. We're emergency services operation, and we are always here to help.
It's excellent. So yeah, we've got the Y ServPro up there. Give me some idea of how do you think things are going to change once we get on the other side of this? What do you see as being a big change?
Probably the biggest change is the focus on cleaning. People are really focused on making sure that their facilities are clean and sanitary and safe.
More than they were before, you think? Huh?
Much more than they were before. And what I would say is that the level of cleaning is become a bigger focus and a bigger point of conversation for us with our customers. There's obviously what we would refer to as kind of the superficial cleaning, which is your normal, disinfecting, wiping, dusting, things like that. But we're having a lot more conversations with people about making sure that your carpets are clean, making sure that your air ducts are clean, making sure that the upholstery and the furniture is clean. So there's a much deeper focus on cleaning than we've seen before. And that's something that I think that will continue to carry forward is people are really, really hyper focused on how clean a facility is when they're entering it nowadays.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. So in this case, this mainly gets watched by business owners or business people. So what we're really talking about is when right before the employees are coming back. Looks like Illinois, in probably the middle of January when we're recording this, looks like Illinois is starting to open up a little bit. Cases are going down. You recommend, obviously, but it's probably a good idea that they do a complete clean of their offices before people are coming back to the office?
We do. Most of the facilities have been shut down for quite some time. And as a result, people have, I don't want to say they've been neglecting the cleaning, but they just haven't, the need for regular cleaning hasn't been as acute. So as you start to get back to work and you start to reopen, we definitely recommend that people do really think about getting somebody like us in there to really help them do a good, for lack of a better term, spring cleaning, right? Like
Right.
really get the place cleaned up, get everybody comfortable that that the facility is clean, and a lot of it is really communicating to your employees and to your customers as a business owner that you care and that you're focused on this. And that really is something that we're finding is going a long way towards morale. We're finding that businesses that don't do that are having more employee absenteeism. They're having more complaints by their employees. And as we start to reopen here, I mean, everyone's got to really make sure that we capitalize on the ability to get back to work.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want to do is be reopening and have your employees not be comfortable in the workspace, because that's obviously going to get communicated to your customers.
Right. And, there's the comfortability, and then there's just an actual outbreak that could happen because it wasn't cleaned or it wasn't, precautions weren't taken. So, Well, I really appreciate you. I think it's really important as we're, getting on the other side of this that business owners contact you, obviously, to get their places cleaned up and get people back to work and get things as close to back to normal as we possibly can. So I appreciate you coming on here. I appreciate Davis pursuing me, getting me to get this going here. So I really appreciate it. Thank you for being a part of this today, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks again for the time, Tom. We appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Matching Ideas with Resources podcast, sponsored by GLM Financial. I'm Tom Ghosh, business strategist with GLM, steering direction, matching ideas with resources.